Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Today, I want us to talk about 10 ways we can be more intentional daily. So, we've talked about what it means to me, we talked about my why, and so now I want to go a little bit deeper in this episode and talking about 10 simple ways we can be more intentional daily. Hi, I'm Famika Griffin, and welcome to Being Intentional on Purpose, a space where we stop moving on autopilot and start choosing our steps with purpose, where we rediscover who we are without the titles and is able to feel seen, understood, and inspired to step boldly into who we are meant to be. I don't have all the answers by no means, but I am committing to finding them out. So let's start being intentional on purpose together. So, are you looking for ways to be intentional in your everyday life? Have you already thought about some things you can do this year to be more intentional? Okay, so just in case you haven't, don't worry. I know it's still the beginning of the year, but I want to share with you some of the things that I've decided that I'm going to be more intentional daily. You can use them, you can take some of them, all of them, or you can just allow it to help you brainstorm some on what it is you want to be intentional about this year. So don't feel pressure, don't feel like you should have these 10 things already or 5 or 2. You might not even have any, and that's okay. I actually sat down and tried to create something for this year for me. And so I want to share it with you. I hope you've had a chance to listen to the last 3 episodes, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed them. If not, or if you have some recommendations, by all means, please include it in the comment section. If you did listen to last week, then you do know that I am really working on being more present each day and truly taking in life no matter what it brings. I'm just thankful. I'm so thankful to just be among the living. And like I asked God this morning, show me my purpose for the day. We're so busy trying to figure out what is my purpose, my true purpose in life. Lord, I just need to know what is my purpose for today. Like, what do you need for me to do for you today? Because I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't even know if I'm promised tomorrow. But what I do know is that in this moment, today, right now, God has allowed oxygen in my body. And so I want to know, how can I please you? How can I be a servant to you, Lord? What do I need to do today? So let's go into the simple 10, right? The first one is my biblical wellness. I want to take time, whether it's in the morning, in the afternoon, midday, doesn't matter. Just some time to do some meditation. I've discussed it in previous episodes that I am being more intentional about listening to my big brother / pastor devotionals, every morning. So he sends out these devotionals where it's how to read the Bible in the 365 days. So every day he sends us out a passage in WhatsApp. And so I'm being more intentional that when I wake up in the morning, I'm thanking God for allowing me to see another day. And then I read that devotional and dive into some of those scriptures that he provided just to help me with that day. So I want to be more aware of my connection with God, and I want to be more present in that moment. And I give it some time. Like, we devote time to work, we devote time to, our spouse, we devote time to our children. If you're on an exercise journey, you put that in your schedule. So now I'm just being more intentional, right? Of how just making sure that I have God on my schedule, and he's early in the morning and he's late at night and he's throughout the day. Now, throughout the day, we have full-blown conversations because I see him truly as, my friend. And so that's number 1, just being more biblical wellness. Number 2 is self-care. Listen, In order for us to truly give 100%, and I know you all have heard this so many times before, but it is so true. In order for us to truly give 100% to others, whether it's work, whether it's our spouse, whether it's our children, whether it's our friends, our families, in order for us to truly give 100%, we have got to take care of ourselves. I don't care what that may look like for you. For me, I've decided that it is going to be going to get a massage, doing my nails. I'm telling you, I'm horrible. Just, being in the Army for 20 plus years and having so many strict rules on what your nails can look like, the color, the size, the shape, the length. I just have always just kept it simple. I didn't put any polish on. I kept it low as I possibly could because I wanted to lead from the front, right? I had reached a rank in the military where younger soldiers were looking up to me to follow the rules and regulation and show it, be an example of what that looked like. And so the safest way for me to not have to constantly be in the regulations and constantly knowing the changes to it was to just go nothing. Like, I didn't put any color on. I didn't do any extensions. I just kept it simple and natural. Well, now I want to use this time now as self-care. So I'm testing out the different styles that you can do to your nails and the different colors that you can put on your nails, and just having those moments, monthly, where I pamper myself, where I commit to myself. Right? So I'm now doing deep tissue massages. Listen, if you never had one done, try them. They are so relaxing, and it allows you to get into a good sleep. Because I'm telling you, when I get them, I go to sleep. But they're so worth it. And it allows me to release some stress, some pressure, and just love on me, or allow someone else to take care of me for a minute. So that's number 2 for me, is self-care. Number 3 is finding peace. Finding peace is often less about what we add to our lives and more about what we choose to leave at the door. See, I realized that managing who and what I allow into my personal space isn't just a preference, it's a responsibility. Because I get to dictate who and what gets into my space and how I allow it to move me. So I want to make sure that I maintain as much peace in my daily life as I possibly can. And so there is a power in detaching from drama and negativity, right? Not out of malice, but out of a deep respect for life. I'm called to lead. I'm called to be an example for my children, for my family. I have to have peace. Life is too short to not have peace in the short time that we do have on this earth. So this year, I'm leaning into protecting my environment, letting go of what drains me, and making room for what truly nourishes me and nourishes my soul. Right? So on a daily basis, I'm now asking myself, how does this relate to my purpose? Right? Is what I'm doing right now is aligned with what God has for me? Is it keeping me in a peace state, or is it dragging me into the drama of the world? So that's number 3. Number 4, speak your peace. Listen, you're going to hear a podcast come up soon, so be waiting for it, where I go into depth on speaking your peace and having those conversations, letting others know how you feel, but letting them know how you feel without anger, without animosity, without malice. You're just telling them that in that moment, this is how you made me feel, and getting it off of you. Because a lot of times We hold on to a grudge. We hold on to those feelings. And the person who caused those feelings on us don't even know that we're mad at them. Listen, have you ever known family members to go years without talking to each other? And one don't know why the other one is mad, but the other one is now mad at something that you did 5, 10, 15 years ago, and they don't even kind of remember the whole story. They just know that you hurt them in a moment and they can still feel that pain, but a lot of the times they don't even remember what the pain came from. But if only they would have had an uncomfortable conversation. Like if they would have sat down with that person and told them that in this moment, this is how I felt. When you said this to me, this is what it placed upon me. Like, and you do it out of love. You go into it with love, right? But if we go into these conversations not wanting an apology, not expecting acknowledgement, but merely getting it off of us so that at the end of the day, we know that they hurt our feelings, or that they said something that made us felt some way or did something, then we can release it because it's now off of us because we've had that conversation. They know how they made you feel. And then we have to take that in that moment and say, I'm done with it now. Now, that doesn't always mean that the moment you have these conversations, your friendship or your relationship is now healed. It just means that you released it. But we'll talk more about that on the next episode. So, number 5 is generational wealth. Listen, I'm working really hard on generational wealth and creating that wealth for my family, creating it for my grandchildren. Like, I want to be able to go to sleep at night and my money is making money. So I'm working on that. I'm being more intentional about the circles that I put myself in. I want to make sure that this year, I'm not in all my groups, but in most of my groups, I want to be one of the poorest ones in the group. I want to be one of the dumbest ones in the group. Why? Because I get to grow by being around those who are smarter and who are richer than me. It allows me to learn from them. And so that way, what I learn, I can now pass it on to the groups where I am the smartest and where I am the richest, right? I can now share that wealth. And that is what I feel generational wealth is. It is not holding on to the knowledge, but sharing it. Number 6 is a healthy lifestyle. So you've already heard about me and my Coca-Cola and how much I love it. So I won't dwell on it. You also heard about me and water and how I hate it. So I won't dwell on it. But I am going to say that this will be my year and going forward where I work on these things. And listen, I went to Costco last night with my husband and I saw the huge case of Coca-Cola that I always get every time I go. And I had to remind my husband that I can see it, I can want it, but I can also know that it is not good for me. And I am in a new space right now where I am more focused on what is good for me, for my body, inside and out. And I know Coca-Cola isn't, no matter how much I love it. So I just know that I have to be intentional about how I look at Coca-Cola. And so until I get into that space where I can drink my one a week, and then I'm going to stay away from it for a little bit. Okay, so we're almost there. Number 7 is positive thoughts. So for me, focusing on positive thoughts isn't about ignoring the hard days. It's about training my brain to see setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than permanent failures. By starting each morning with a simple affirmation, like I have postage notes. Well, I'm getting back to it. I used to have a lot of post-it notes like on my bathroom mirrors, my wall in my bedroom on my side, where I would tell myself things. Like I would give myself affirmation like you are enough, you are beautiful, you are wonderfully made. God has a purpose for you. I would speak life into myself because whether we realize it or not, it all starts with our thoughts. And then it becomes our words. And then our words formulate some actions behind it. And so I just want to make sure that I'm giving myself, the grace to handle challenges with clarities instead of stress. And so I speak those things over my life. I speak what it is that I am asking God for. This would be like my space to cultivate a mindset that feels aligned and hopeful and resilient, and allowing me to fully experience the beauty and even little bitty small victories. Like I didn't buy that Coca-Cola yesterday at Costco. Small victories. Number 8 is digital freedom. Okay, this is going to be a hard one, and I realize it more and more since I wrote it down. I've realized that my phone has become more of a constant companion to me than it ever was intended to be. Like I spend so much time on social media. And I'm not saying social media is bad by no means. I mean, that is how we connect with each other. Like I am still connected with high school classmates and family members that I probably haven't seen over 20, 30 years, but we're still connected because of our social medias. But what I'm realizing is that social media has become too much in my life, too much presence. I give it too much time. Like, have you ever checked your phone? If you have an iPhone, it tells you how many hours you give in your phone a day and a week. I don't even want to tell you what it told me for last week. It was just too many hours. So now what I am doing is implementing what I call the No Technology Sunday. I used to do it when the kids were little because I was seeing how they were spending more time on their phone than they were with me or with their dad. So I wasn't really getting to know my children because they were in their phones. So we would have a No Technology Sunday, and on that day it would be where we did everything but get on the phone. Like the phones had to go in a basket. We saw the basket, we knew where it was at. Only if it was emergencies would we check that phone. Other than that, that was our time to reconnect with each other. That was our time to read a book if we needed to, play board games with each other, just reconnect and recharge. And we were just choosing to be present in the room rather than just being present online. All right, number 9, a gratitude journey. So at my job, we did this training on gratitude, and I loved it. And it was a young lady talking about how every day she wrote down, what she was grateful for. And she took pictures of it. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's amazing. I want to try that. And so I'm going to be working on that this year with taking pictures. And I share those pictures I share it on my social media page because Being Intentional on Purpose now has a Facebook page. So please go out there and find me and become my friend. And so I share those pictures on that page of what I am grateful for throughout this year. All right. I appreciate you all for sticking it through. If you stuck it through this long, I thank you all. This may be one of the longest episodes I've done up until this point. But I appreciate you all for being here with me and going through this journey. So we've reached number 10. And number 10 is embrace the silent. I know it's deep, right? In a world that rarely stops talking, I have discovered that my greatest source of strength is not found in the noise, but in the stillness. Embrace the silent is more personal commitment to reclaiming those quiet pockets of time that often get lost in the daily grind. Whether it is 5 minutes with a morning coffee or a dedicated pause at sunset, I am learning to sit and simply absorb the silence around me. Listen, it's more than just an absence of sound. It's a space where we are able to just decompress, find mental clarity, and reconnect with ourselves. Just being silent. Choosing to be silent isn't about avoiding life. It's about finding the peace required to truly live it. Just be silent. Let's try it out. So, I hope you enjoyed my 10 simple, yet, I don't know if I'm going to say challenging, but 10 simple, intentional things that we can do this year daily. Life is far too complex, right? So we have to break it down just a little bit. Whether we do 10, 5, 2, doesn't matter. Just be intentional. So in my journey, I found that when I practice being consistent, they become a quiet way to reclaim my sense of self. I lean, and I'm going to lean. I want to lean on this list whenever I feel that the world is moving too fast, using them as a gentle anchor to find my way back to intentionality and peace. So I hope that you all are able to use some of them, if not all. And share your outcome with me in the comment section. I would love to hear them and respond back to you. But until next time, I thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope this message resonates with you. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't want you missing out on the next episode. Until next time, have a wonderful week on purpose.